Peace FM 104.3. Who to meet Taki?
Now, Kwame, the easy case, you know. Look, if there's a regime of lockdown of a certain nature, and depends on the scope and coverage and restrictions, the EC will have to work within that framework.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if there's lockdown, serious type lockdown, I find it difficult to advocate for the EC to embark on new registration. We'll have to find ways and means of fine-tuning the old one and see how best we can move forward. But if the authorities, based on science and data, will ease the restrictions, in that context, there will be room for EC to apply the appropriate protocols to do what you call a new register. Yendru yet. I'm not saying the Yendru people should not analyze and speculate or do some projections, because that will be wrong. Not at that time, you are unprepared, especially the EC. I'm sure by now they are doing serious analysis of the situation. There, how do we go about it? What are the protocols we put in place? Some countries have held elections and things under.
Others are in line going to vote.
And as you are saying, December 7th elections, it ought to come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a constitutional requirement. Indeed, by 7 January, we will have no precedent if we didn't hold an election.
Yeah.
And Akufo-Addo, I know, will not for a second, Kwame, want to stick around. And see, this is a huge challenge. And see, it's about time, and that's why the EC and all those who say, look, may I analyze situation, scenarios. What do we do if this is the situation? And I'm proceeding on the basis there. CCI were a regime of restrictions backed by law. Within this regime of restrictions, so there was safety protocols in Nyama or we must look at the EC's trajectory relative to registration within the context of the legal regime I imposed. If the restrictions are eased, reduced, it gives them. Yes, please come in.
Even with Yamfan EC is going to proceed on the use of the old register. When you're 18 years, also when your opportunity unregistered.
I agree.
It's registration, is it?
No, you are damn right. But you see, that limited registration, the scope and the coverage here limited as compared to a new register in its entirety. I mean, the point you are making in principle is correct, because you must find ways and means of even doing the limited registration. The 18th Funawaba, when you so one register previously.
Exactly.
Yeah, pill, heads or tails, there will be a swallow. It's not all there, you're sober about that thing. But that absolutely rejectionist position, the infinite Bibiano, is not the basis for any serious intellectual intercourse.
Abdul Malik Kweku Baako.
Have I said something negative?
Nobody has said you said anything negative.
The way camera is looking at me and laughing.
Just the emphasis on the word intercourse.
Intellectual intercourse.
But you may continue.
Emphasis is on intellectual.
Not intercourse.
But intercourse, so only sexual.
May we continue the discussion?
You bring yourself. Now you tell me, say what? Tutorial host. Who put it away?
Put the one.
I salute you.
Kojo you put the one.
Kwame, Alote has taken something away from.
Oh God.
Because Kwame, it's the sense of humor or a medicine. He provides a lot of that medicine. Apart from there, all your serious submissions also.
And now you're diabolic, so.
Yeah. You're very diabolic. I don't take it. Sisi, I'm No, Kwame, I'm not happy with my friend. No. But whatever it is, this is the context in which I'm looking at it. Before pandemic, I was for new register. My emphasis was more on the new equipment, but gradually moved towards new register. By Sisiano, the situation or the so a bit careful, cautious, and creative how we go about dealing with this matter. All within the context there, there must be an election. You might mention, yes, and then the critical part in the presidential election. We cannot joke with it. Otherwise, 7 January, no elections. I mean, I cannot imagine it, but I'm just being hypothetical. Or way forward. Well, I'll be available. Will declare me unelected president. I will manage
Ojam as president.
Appoint 10 ministers of public safety and put out their regime of emergency. Maybe in the first part.
At least Alote Jacobs could have proven to some of us that he can't always be influenced by his NPP.
This FM 104.3. Who to meet